YouTube, how you doing? Welcome to the latest episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, a quick thank you for taking some time out of your day to check out the new video and for being the best damn community here on YouTube, without a doubt. So let's jump right on into it. It's fairly common knowledge that 70 to 80% of globally mined silver is produced as a byproduct of mining other metals like zinc, lead, and everybody's favorite non-precious metal, copper. Love it. But the share of silver produced by dedicated silver mines fell from 32% in 2016 all the way down to 28% last year in 2024. So it does appear dedicated silver mine productivity is dropping by the year. Now, hang on. Don't pull the plug on me just yet. It's not a mining video, I promise. You guys know how I feel about those. But where exactly does all that silver go after they dig it up? Well, about half of all silver demand worldwide is utilized for industrial applications, specifically the electrical and electronics industry. The other 50% goes into investment, coinage, and the jewelry industry. Now, all that says this: with dedicated silver mine production decreasing and the cost of mining silver to likely shoot up in the next few years or even sooner, how sustainable is it to keep using silver on the industrial side? That 50%. Well, there's something out there, friends and neighbors, that could potentially replace that silver being used in industry. And I'm getting ready to tell you what it is. And if there's a chance that it could affect silver's value in a negative way, dropping the price. We're going to talk about that and a whole hell of a lot more, so make sure you stay tuned. Alright, so no beating around the bush. The new technology that could potentially, emphasis on potentially, replace silver's use in industry is graphene.
What you talking about?
Yep, some of you may have already heard about it, but it's more than likely a majority of stackers aren't aware of this stuff just yet. So what is graphene anyway, and how is it viable as a silver alternative in industry? Well, the technical definition of graphene is not a simple one. It really isn't. So I'll break it down in layman's terms to keep me not being confused and keep this part of the video brief so we can get to the good stuff. In a nutshell, graphene is basically a material with carbon atoms layered in a hexagonal pattern. It's got an extremely high electrical conductivity and a number of other positive properties. So this is what's partially leading to speculation that graphene could replace silver in certain industrial applications. Now, what are the advantages of graphene over silver? Well, there's a few, but here are the main four. Number one, conductivity. Believe it or not, graphene is far, far superior to silver when it comes to conductivity. I mean, we're talking significantly superior. Number two, cost. Cost of silver is a major disadvantage for a lot of electrical applications. Price of silver can be volatile, and its mining has a significant environmental impact. So, in contrast, graphene is made from carbon, which is a relatively abundant and inexpensive element. So, big advantage over silver right there. Number three, graphene has high mechanical strength and flexibility, which makes it ideal for use in flexible electronics and energy storage devices. Solar panels, hello. And number four, graphene also has high thermal conductivity, which means it can efficiently dissipate heat. Now, this is an important property in electronic devices, iPhones for example, where overheating can lead to expensive equipment failure, and which can really hurt a company or business.
Prediction? Yes, prediction. Pain.
So graphene sounds like a sweet deal, right? Well, maybe, and maybe not. Just like everything else in the world, it has its share of disadvantages, and they are: number one, the cost of manufacturing graphene right now is still relatively high, but that could very likely decrease as the technology improves and production methods become a little more efficient. Number two, unfortunately, there are a lot of stipulations and conditions that have to be met in order for graphene to ramp up to peak performance. Oxygen and other contaminants can reduce its effectiveness. Silver doesn't have that issue. It's plug and play. It just does what it does right from the get-go and under various conditions. And number three, graphene is a relatively new material, and there's still a lot to be learned about its properties and behaviors.
Oh, behave. Yeah.
So there you have it, a quick crash course on graphene and what it is and its potential. So now that we're done with the Bill Nye the Science Guy crap, let's get into a hypothetical question. Could graphene affect the price of silver if its potential is fully realized as a replacement for silver in industry? Well, here's the deal. While it's not impossible, it's somewhat unlikely that graphene will replace silver in all applications. Now, it is possible that graphene could replace silver in certain applications where the high cost of silver is a disadvantage, but there's still a bunch of challenges associated with using it under those applications, and it does need more research to fully understand its properties and behaviors. So basically, the future of graphene in the field of electronics and electrical equipment is still uncertain, and it remains to be seen whether or not it'll ever replace silver. Now, the potential of graphene is promising, and it'll definitely be something to keep an eye on in years to come, but it's not quite ready to bump silver out just yet, and it may never be. And until it does, silver is still the industrial king.
Oh, well, king in the castle, king in the castle.
Alright, so we're getting ready to wrap this video up, but before I do, let's summarize really quickly. Graphene has promise, folks. It does. It really does. But it's not ready to take over for silver in industry just yet. But let's say it did, hypothetically. How would that potentially affect silver price? I know there are a bunch of different ways to look at this, but in my completely uneducated opinion, I've put it out there, I honestly think that even if 50% of silver use in industry was replaced by graphene, well, I've come up with arguments about how silver could go either way, up or down. Here's my thought process for it going up. Silver price goes up if graphene replaces it. We know that silver is being held down price-wise. It's never been allowed to achieve its full price potential because, let's face it, the effect it would have on the cost of industry. Now, in theory, silver should be around 170 to 190 an ounce these days, based on the mining ratios of silver to gold, but that'd have a huge cost effect on its industrial usage, big time. So if we take the industrial part out, replace it with graphene, that 50% we talked about earlier, maybe, just maybe, the manipulation would end, and silver could realize its true worth. Never know. Now, on the other hand, here's why silver price could actually plummet if graphene took over. Imagine an asteroid landing on Earth, crashing to the Earth, and it carried millions and millions of ounces of silver. Now, suddenly, the supply of silver is infinitely larger, and when that happens, price could actually fall due to the huge surplus that's suddenly available. The same scenario could apply to that 50% silver that graphene could replace. If we suddenly have too much silver, the price could conceivably come down. One thing we do know for sure is that silver will never be worthless. There's no way. There are plenty of uses for it outside of the industrial sector, and let's face it, silver's been used by mankind for centuries. Bullion, jewelry, and other sectors aren't going to just suddenly go poof, and silver's just not going to go quietly in the night. Again, folks, this is strictly hypothetical thinking on my part. I could be close, and I could be a million miles off on this. It's just an opinion. So make sure you leave yours in the comment section below on how you think graphene would affect silver price if it took over in industry. All right, another video into the archives. So what are your thoughts on graphene potentially replacing silver in industry, and what do you think would happen to silver price if it did? Would it go up, down, or who the hell knows where? Be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. You guys know I love going through them, so make sure you sound off. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you actually made it this far, then kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, you know what's up.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to stack. Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. Be sure to catch me and my silver journey next Wednesday at 8:30 for Stacker's Corner. That'll be on my channel. But until then, yeah, you already know it. I am out over here. Peace, folks. Have a fantastic week ahead. Take care.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.